So hopefully this is now the last update and I can do something fun again. So today I went to the vascular surgeons and I had been feeling around my Newport area and I have felt what I thought was my port and where my surgeon has access as my port. My new port is not like my old port. It does not have the 3 nubs. I have the new design power port, ClearVue Slim, and it does not have the nubs. So what I was feeling the power port. I was feeling the gel part where you can feel it, and like my other one, I don't feel the blood returning and it circulating in it like I did my other one. And right now it's probably because it's so deep. He had already had everything laid out, ready to go. He was just waiting on them to call me back from the front of the waiting room. Once I got back there, it was all, let's just get this done, see if we can do it. He had put the needle in, kind of felt around. So instead of just like taking it out, redoing, he just put the needle in and was feeling around. He got it in, and then he took it. I said, "You had it in." So he moved it around again, and then he missed, got it back in, but he had to hold on to it in order for it not to come back out. And that was with the 1 inch. And then, as you can see, we have padding, integuderms, and over it to keep it placed. I asked him, well, I don't mind going in blindly because I am comfortable with doing my own procedures. And I did go in blindly when I first did this, very first time, and I hit it. So I'm not afraid to do that, but I was just kind of concerned because what if for some reason I can't? Do I come back to him? Can I get an order to go to the infusion center to have a nurse that does these every day to access it for me? And so he was fine with that. However, because I do have swelling, and now with having to go really deep into my tissue, I've got more bruising now. But he says to keep it in, 7 to 10 days, do not remove it. He said after this time that it should be very much easier to access. And the more that I access it, the more it'll be easier for me to access. Because, well, just like with the other one, when I gained more weight, it wasn't prominent. It sat further back. But the more the longer you leave it accessed, the closer to the skin that it would come out. And so I would de-access mine. Maybe like every 3 or 4 days, instead of leaving it in the entire week or so. But I don't like de-accessing mine more than a week, and so I had quit doing that. But it helps bring it out closer to the skin, and it makes it easier to access. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I did have to order 1.5 inch Huber needles. The ones that my infusion center sent me are not CT compatible. So I am going to have to call them tomorrow and be like, hey, you know, these Huber needles that you sent me are not CT compatible. I have a power port that is CT compatible. I need a Huber needle that is CT compatible. And I want to see, you know, if you have them in this brand that I like, that I get my 3/4 needle in. And that is very important, because if I have to go down for a CT or whatever, and, you know, I'm still newly with this port, I don't want somebody else that don't know what they're doing trying to access it. They don't know what they're looking for, because these ports are fairly new. Not very many people have the port that I have in, because they still do the other power ports. So I am gonna be back on the phone tomorrow. So this is gonna be the last update. I will probably do one after 10 days or so and tell you guys how hard, or if it was simply, you know, pretty easy to access. When I re-accessed it the last time, I did pretty good, because I re-accessed right after I had de-accessed this one. So it was pretty simple. It's just getting the right size needle. So my surgeon said to get the 1.5, and it would be okay if I used a bio patch. There shouldn't be any reason why I can't use the bio patch. So anyway, finally getting fluids has been, you have no idea. Today I was almost crawling. I was so miserable. And for those of you that do IV hydration therapy, I don't know if you do it as often as I do. I do it 7 days a week, and I have an extra bag, and I am probably going to run that extra bag tonight. But if you have never had run IV hydration therapy, because you don't have the same problems I have, and then, I mean, my energy is so zapped because my body doesn't absorb nutrients. I'm malabsorption, I'm malnutrition, and to look at me, you never would think so. But I mean, today I was just like crawling. My doctor looked at me and said, "How are you?" And I just didn't even say a word, because it was like, well, I feel like shit today. I need hydration therapy. And he was like, hop up there on the table, and I was like, gladly. And he got it in. I was like, oh, good. Now I can start taking my hydration therapy. I'm so happy. But I had fluids that had to have the air sucked out of them, because my fluids with my small curling pump, the pharmacy takes the air out and put them into a different bag, and so they aren't good for very long. And so the fluid that I got last week or week before last. No, I didn't order anything last week. So it was from the week before last. Just sat in my refrigerator. I didn't even have anything left over that I could use today, but I did have some fluids that hadn't had any air taken out of it, and so I just took the air out of it myself and used it. And you know, a lot of people don't understand, and I'm just going to explain this to you. You have a colon. Your colon absorbs your nutrients, your water, all of that. And I don't have a colon. I have an ileostomy. It's kind of like having a short gut. This does not do anything for me. It, you know, my body, my cells need the fluid, because since my body pretty much just goes down my digestive tract, I don't get my fluids, I don't get my minerals, I don't get my vitamins. So when I do this hydration fluid and I get my vitamin infusions and minerals and things like that from time to time, it goes straight through my blood. And then where it needs to go, it goes. And when you're getting IV hydration therapy, it's going through your blood. Your organs are getting that therapy. It's getting the hydration. It's in your oxygen saturation. And so, you know, it helps a whole lot differently than me just drinking. I can drink all day long and I don't get hydrated, because it goes straight through my mouth to my stomach and into my kidneys and my small intestines, and it's out. I don't absorb it. And you know, I don't know how I can make that any clearer for anybody, but that is how it works. And now I'm getting hydrated, and just from having the first bag has really, really helped on my stomach cramping and the nausea, because I'm finally getting something through my body and my cells are just eating it up. So yes, I am feeling a lot better. I'm not at 100%, but I'm feeling a lot better. So anyway, that's where I'm at. And I'm not going to be doing any more updating on this topic. I want to start moving forward on to some other things that I love now, since my new port is accessed and I'm using it. And so I want to do something fun, and I don't know what that might be, but it's definitely not talking about this port. Perhaps in the next 10 days I will say something, see how hard it was for me to reaccess. The one thing I'm not gonna like is that when you deaccess your port, you have to hold your port down and pull the needle out. And if I can't feel my port, it's going to make it hard to pull the needle out. And to access your port, you really need to be able to feel your port. And I'm not going to be able to feel it. So it's just going to be, like I said, it's just going to be blind. But the one thing is I'm the one that's doing it. I'm the one that can feel when I'm moving it around and when I'm hitting it. So I was telling my doctor when he was moving and hitting it. So anyway, that's it. You guys have a good night and a good day. And I will see you guys in a little while. I don't know if I'll do a piece right away, or if I am going to just kind of look around and see what I want to get into, because I haven't been really looking at anything, and so I really don't know what's really going on out in the world right now. So this can be quite interesting. I'm seeing a lot of stuff on how everybody is just like watching everything that Meghan Markle is doing and the royal family, and I don't think I want to go in that direction because I personally don't care. But then I seen something about Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmare, and I think that might be something kind of funny to watch, because I did record that, and I've never done one of those, but I think it would be a lot of fun, because I think I can find a lot of stuff on this one show. So you never know with me. It might be political, it might be on my health, it just might be on a health topic, it might be political. You never know with me. It could be something new for a change. So we'll just sit back and watch and enjoy the ride. You guys have a good night.